I teach boxing in a traditional sense, which is going to seem different because what you see as traditional is what's been taught to you as traditional really isn't. Boxing today has been taught to sell tickets. They teach you to stand there like rock'em sock'em robots, get close enough and hit your opponent. They add a few slick moves as far as sliding, turning, stepping, and this and that. But when you really understand the objectives, and I'm going to try to really simplify. Everything I tell you is going to be simple. The objectives are extremely simple. Putting it into motion is what's difficult because I'm going to show you honestly how to do this correctly, and it's going to contradict what we see as natural movement. Okay? I just want you to be patient with me. You'll see it, and it makes sense. It's just the application is going to be a little frustrating, to say the least. People have been here with me before kind of understand what I'm saying. What I teach is a way of doing this without getting yourself off balance, without shifting. We shift naturally when we do things. If you're sitting on the couch and the remote's on the other end, you just stretch and reach till you find it, until you get it. And that's what we do naturally. Is it the most efficient way and the most effective way to do it? No. But that's the way we will go. By default, we will just reach, as opposed to stepping down and picking it up and coming back. You know? So we do that in everything. We do that in the way we move. When we move and we walk, we turn our bodies from our shoulders, which creates momentum, and we just keep from falling over. You know? And that's basically what we're doing. Is that effective? Is that efficient? No. But it is natural. Okay? Since you're moving from your feet, you can actually guide yourself from your hips and turn from here, and you don't lose your balance from here. But we would rather do this and stop the momentum. Okay? So we actually move, stop the momentum, change direction, as opposed to moving from our hips and just coming back. You know, and the moves are a lot cleaner, a lot crisper. You have more control over your body. You lose control, gain control, go the other way, lose control, gain control, turn back around. We don't realize we're doing it because we've done it since we learned to walk. The reason why is because once we learn to walk, we won't allow ourselves to fall. Plain and simple. So when you see kids and you turn two kids side by side and tell them to race, they have no concept of stride, turnover ratio, none of that. They just lean forward and keep from falling. And they go. All right? And if they want to go faster, they just lean further. That's it. That's why you see so many people run and fall down, because they're leaning faster than they can run. And that's what causes it, because they're not really functioning effectively. Okay? So, what we're going to do to get this started, we're going to go over what is the true boxer stance. Marcus. True boxer stance is at an angle. Most people will box now, like I said, like the rock'em sock'em robots. They stand on their opponents like this. The main reason that they do this is so they can use both hands. Okay? But they're wide open. You stand at an angle here, so that the furthest point contact should be right here, off the jab. To fire the jab here and keep all of your targets back here is the actual objective. What I say when I teach my guys, I tell them what you're doing is you're delivering. You're delivering to your opponent only what is his. This is only what is his. I am not going to send it and follow behind it. That's none of his business. All of that stays back here. All right? So if I send it, I'm only sending this, and I'm stepping back. Make him have to acquire the target from here. He has to come and get it if he wants it, and he's not going to be there when he gets there. Okay? So if I stand in here this way, and this is why we see this. If you really take note, go back, watch, you'll see so many guys trade jabs. Because jab. They do this. And they trade jabs because they're moving right into their opponent's offense. It's a different concept. It's a different concept. But as everybody, I'm looking at everybody's eyes, it makes sense. You understand what you've done, what has been natural to you, but you also understand that this makes a whole lot more sense. Okay? So now, we're going to go over the jab. The jab, honestly, is thrown from the hips. All of these shots are thrown with the power coming from here, from right there. And you don't have to step into the jab, as so many people are taught. The power on that punch comes from the form. You don't have to step into it here. You can just turn your hip and put it right where it needs to go. And it goes on a straight line. It goes on the line and right back. And you keep the mobility here in your feet. To step here, you might as well, because all your weight comes forward, you might as well be up to here in mud. Because in order to move after that, you have to pull this out of the dirt to get out of there. If you miss, you're a target. That's why the concept of make them miss, make them pay is so effective. Because the minute they slip, you're right here, pulling your foot out of the dirt. And you're going to take that next shot. Okay? When you keep the balance here, you can fire that shot and you're gone. So if he does slip, this is right back here to fire again. You don't leave it out there. All right? So everything on the punch is coming back to the true boxer stance. So every shot comes right back to the true boxer stance. And you have all the mobility, offense, defense, everything you need is in that stance. So we're going to learn to fight from this stance. And your objective is to get back to that stance. Okay? So